everyone, it's Nadia from LiaDiaDia Designs, and I am back with another video. It's been a while, I know, I'm sorry, I'm here. But I am back, and I have some super exciting news for you. And so there's been a new addition added to my studio. If you've been following me for a little while, you'll know that last fall I started working with acrylic in terms of like acrylic panels. Specifically, I was working with acrylic rounds, a round like this. So this is a 6-inch here. And basically what I was doing was I was painting designs on them to create sun catchers. So this is an example of one of the sun catchers that I designed. So I painted the designs on here, and then I would paint them myself or make them available for anybody who wanted to purchase them and then paint them themselves. So this way you could create your very own. So since then, since the fall, we've created quite a few. Here's just a few designs. So this is like the Lotus flower design and the Phoenix and our Year of the Dragon for this year. So that's where these things kind of started. So since then, I was kind of hoping and dreaming and thinking about ways that we could not just stay within the round shape, that obviously we could do other shapes, maybe even custom shapes. And that was something I was really trying to figure out how I was going to be able to do. I talked to some print suppliers and vendors in my area, trying to see what it would be involved to do things like that. It was really hard to find someone who could kind of accommodate a small business who works from home, because usually these companies want larger quantities, and I just don't have quantities at the moment that I can just say, oh, sure, print me 100 of these or 100 of those. It's not really that simple for me right now. So I was hoping to find a way to do it at home. So here we are. So earlier this year, I was very excited to connect with and partner with xTool. They are the maker of laser cutting machines, and they have a bunch of different laser cutting machines and engravers and things like that. So we discussed what it is that I was going to need. And honestly, the machine that they offered me was just a dream come true. Like everything that I was hoping and wanting the machine to do, this one does. So here's a little clip of me with the machine. Isn't it amazing? And the great thing about this machine specifically, I mean, xTool has some smaller machines and different machines, different lasers and engravers. The reason why this one was the best fit for me personally was because I talked to them about being able to cut clear acrylic. And this machine, this is their P2. So this is a black model. They also just launched a white model, and which is gorgeous, by the way. But the black fit better with my studio anyway, so that worked out really well for me. And so the great thing about this is that it can engrave and cut clear acrylic and all the transparent acrylics as well, and all the other things that you would expect a laser cutter to be able to cut. So it definitely can cut wood, and it does engraving on various amounts of materials, ceramics and plastics and rubber, I believe. There's a whole list of materials that they engrave as well. So there's a lot more that you can learn about their machine. So if you're interested, take a look in the description below this video. I'm gonna have their link there, and they're also running a sale. So if anybody is in the market for, you know, some sort of engraving or laser cutting machine, it's a great time with them right now because they're gonna be running this great sale from March 12th until the 22nd. So all the details will be in the link below. So for today's project, you get to see the xTool a lot more in use as we do the project today. So let's get started with this project. So what I want to do today is I'm actually making a gift. I wanted to really test out the P2 machine with cutting the clear acrylics. So as you can see, I have lots of really pretty colors here. This is a nice pink. They have the little frosted protective plastic on them, but you can see, so we have a pretty blue and all these other pretty colors. We have a clear here, and there's a white on the bottom. So what we're going to be doing is, I want to, even though we're using the laser cutting machine, I want to still create something that's kind of stained glass inspired, and obviously in my typical LiaDia style, which is also a lot of mandalas and kind of that henna inspired look. So we're going to be combining a lot of the things that I love into this piece. So, and what it is, it's going to be a gift from my cousin. She just had a baby like literally a week ago, and she had a little baby girl, and I wanted to make a sign for her room. So something that they can kind of, a little keepsake they can have for the baby girl's room. And again, like I said, it's going to allow me to use everything you see here and, you know, create something hopefully very special. So the first step for this project was to create the design. I know there's a lot of templates and stencils out there online, and if you need to use those, absolutely, you should definitely use them. I really just wanted to challenge myself to see if I could create something from scratch, like basically from nothing, and see if I could create a design that worked on the P2 cutting machine. So I started off in Procreate on my iPad, and I drew out the design that I wanted to create. I drew the lotus and all the detailing, and once I was happy with that, I imported that into Adobe Illustrator. As many of you know, I am a graphic designer by profession. So this again was something that I have access to and I was able to do. And basically I took that image, it was pretty much a screenshot or a scan, and then I redrew it again in Illustrator to make sure every single detail was perfect. And I'm sure there's many of you out there saying there's easier ways to do it, with other types of outlining software, but this is the way I really wanted to do it because I wanted to make sure every single detail really was perfect. So once I was happy with the design, I was able to kind of create just the outlines of that image and then create a file that I could import into xTool's Creative Space software. So the xTool comes with its own software, so it's the xTool Creative Space, and it's such an easy kind of hit the ground running type of software, which I was actually really surprised of because I think the software was the thing I was the most worried about. So as you can see on the screen here, that acrylic sheet that we put into the machine is now, it has a camera view like right here in the software. And now I can go in and just add my image. So I have everything kind of set up here. I'm going to start with this one. So this is one of the images that I created, and it's in an SVG format. So, and now I can just basically drag and drop and position it exactly where I want. As you can see, the clip here is a little bit cut off, so I know there's a little bit of space at the top here, and it allows me to see exactly where I want to position things. So if I have multiple things that I want to position, I can do that. And if I want to move them around or scale them, I can do all of that right here in the program. Just makes it so easy. They also have layers you can see down here. I'm not going to be using the layers today, but if you were, for example, wanting to cut something and engrave it, you could put it in layers and the machine will know. Well, obviously you're going to put your specs in, but it's going to be able to do it in the right order that they're going to engrave first and then cut later. So really, really intuitive. It's really easy to use. So the first thing I want to do is set my material. So this is a 3mm white acrylic piece. So that's what I have here, but it has lots of other options on here. And then for the image, I can click it and then it says score, engrave, cut. And I want to cut this out. So, but you do have the other options there, and they're all types of settings. I've been using just the preset settings, and they've been working perfectly for me. All right, so this one's all set up, and we're going to go ahead and process that. And I'm just going to quickly go through a time lapse since I've shown you how this works, and get all the pieces cut out, and I'll see you back on the other side. Okay, so that was fun. Lots of cutting, lots of different pieces. So now we can actually show you how everything is going to assemble together. So the first thing I did, and this is going to be kind of a very sandwiched piece, as you probably gathered from seeing everything. So this, I know it's hard to see, but this is a clear acrylic. So because again, we're kind of creating a stained glass piece, I want it to be, I want it to be kind of see-through so that the light can shine through it and you can see all the pretty colors. I have this board under here just so you can kind of see everything, because the green you can't really see a whole bunch on. But so that is the shape of the entire sign. So you can see there, and actually this is a piece of acrylic under here, so you can see exactly how close I got those dimensions. This is a 12 by 16 sheet, so you can see I maximized the Lotus on here. And then I created this piece here. Now this is just a white acrylic, and then it's going to be layered over top. Everything is going to get glued together at the end. I just want to show you guys how it's all going to be assembled. So that I'm using this as kind of the jigsaw piece holder or something. Like it's kind of like the template to hold all the other pieces. So this is the purple, and again, I was able to create each piece so that it fits perfectly in here. So now I don't have to worry about things moving or if it's aligned properly. So, and these are the blue ones. So these ones go down here. So we have that side and that side. And then we have, this is the yellow. So the yellow is going in the bottom. And we have orange. So look how pretty all these colors are. So we have that there and that there. And last but not least, on the colors, we have our pink. So there and there. So that all is now being held perfectly in place. And then we have more. We have the piece that took absolutely forever to create, but is gorgeous. Just look at that. I'm so incredibly happy. Oh my, look at the detailing on that. Just, it's so perfect. I can't tell you how over the moon happy I am with how this turned out. So then this gets laid on top like this. So you can see the detailing of all the mandala designs and the overall lotus shape, and how all the colors just fit so beautifully within this piece here. And then I decided I want to add another one of these on top, and that's just kind of going to border everything. I know you guys probably don't see it too much on this angle here on the camera, but it just kind of creates an outlined border on the whole piece that just adds just so much to it. And then last but not least, we have her name, and her name is Kaya. So this is the background. And again, everything needs to be dusted before I apply it or to glue them together. So I'm just going to be putting it on top here. So we did the purple layer for that, and this is an opaque purple. So that's the only thing on this whole piece besides the white, obviously, that is opaque. Everything else had, all the colors were transparent acrylic. So there we go. So her name is Kaya. So it's going to look like that. Now, without being able to show you guys, I'm going to try to lift it so you can get an idea how it looks, how transparent it is. But look at that. Isn't that so cool? I can't tell you guys how excited I am about the possibilities for this machine. And again, I know this is the largest machine, so it has the most capabilities. But if you're just looking for an engraver, or you're looking for, a cutter for materials that are not clear acrylic, they have other options. xTool has other options as well. So anyway, but just so you know how I'm going to be finishing this off, I'll do it in a time lapse so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me glue. So I'm just going to be using the E6000. This is the Plus. Supposedly this is the no odor version. So I'm going to be trying this, and it's crystal clear. So I'm going to be just basically gluing all the layers together so that and I don't need to glue the colored pieces because I have that tray that basically they're all sitting in. Once everything's sandwiched and they're in place, they're not going to be able to shift and move. They're all going to be held in. So here we are, it's all glued. It does need a bit of time to dry. If you've used that E6000 glue before, you know that it takes a bit of time to cure. I believe it's 24 hours, but in another hour or so, I should be able to pick it up and move it around and just, you know, get some nice pictures of it, hopefully before it gets too dark outside. I want to get in front of a window so we can really see that transparent stained glass effect with it. But I'm completely obsessed. I can't even tell you how excited I am and all the ideas I have that we could possibly, of things that we can possibly make with this machine. The xTool P2 is just such an incredibly powerful machine that, you know, like I said, there's just so many things. And I can hear you guys. I hear you resin artists already saying, oh my gosh, there's so much we can do with this. And yes, I have some ideas with that as well. So in the future, just stay tuned. I have some more projects I'm working on and I can't wait to try out those. Also, my sun catcher people, believe me, we have some great ideas that I'm kind of working through for that as well. I'm super excited about that. So anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different. I know it's not my typical painting or resin type work, but believe me, we're going to be using this machine to incorporate a lot of the other things that the styles that I love. Again, stained glass with the colors and the mandalas and the intricate designs. We're going to tie it all together. There's going to be lots, again, you know, infinite possibilities of things that we can create now that we have this machine as well. So thank you to xTool first and foremost for my machine and for sponsoring this video and being such a great partner, and for all of you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments or anything that you're interested in, or things that you want to see me make with the machine to see if we can test out the capabilities. And remember, it also engraves, so we're also going to be testing that out as well. So if there's anything you'd like to see, any projects you want me to try, techniques or things you want me to try to make. And remember, if you're in the market for a cutting machine or an engraving machine, the xTool has many other options for their machines, and they have a great sale on right now. I think it starts today. It's March 12th until the 22nd. So take a look at the link in the description below in this video here, and it'll take you to where you need to go in terms of the sale and, you know, all the different machines. You can see the differences and the options and things like that. So like I said, I know the P2 is their largest and, you know, obviously most capable machine with lots of different capabilities, but depending on what you need, they might have, you know, a smaller machine or a different machine that works for you. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you to xTool for being a huge part of this new adventure that I'm going to be on. And thank you to my members and my patrons. You guys have been amazing. And I know I have been kind of sparse here and there the last little while, but I'm back, don't worry, and we'll be getting together soon. So again, any comments or questions, put them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Thanks. Bye.